Hello and welcome. Today is the 8th day of September 2017. It is a Friday and welcome. In this video, I'm going to start off by announcing the winner of the contest this week for Tankamoto Sandpiper 22, whom wrote the comment, sometimes markets can kick your ass when you think you are right. And today, a lot of people are getting their asses kicked for sure. And a lot of people are kicking ass as well. Anyway, I put in a number sequence based on the Dow Jones, which closed at 21,797 and 79 cents, and that was the key number. So send me a message with your address to send it to, and I will have it sent out to you tonight. In this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of codes in which I entered, and both of them are because I think I have great entry points to start with, both for different reasons. The first one is the first coin I ever bought. It's the BELA coin. And within its daily chart, I started getting in on the low 3400s. When I first ever bought it, it would have been in here when I first bought it. At the high 2800s, I think I first bought it in it. And I called this thing pretty darn near amazing. As I stated, it would probably top in this area range. I called 5,000 to 6,000, and sure enough, it did. The big bottom area, pretty much called it as well. I pretty much called this top as well, but they had a very big correctionary phase. And what I also thought too was that the amazing buying spot was 6,000. Wrong. It wasn't an amazing buying spot. As we can see here, this is what took place. Market sure as heck didn't bottom from that point, and even a few areas in here. Now, there was a lot of great opportunities from the top. As we can see, situations like this can create tremendous profits. Understanding what a failed move, fast move situation comes in. There's your failed breakout situation where you got above a key level of resistance. But you clearly broke it. You came back to where you were within the congestion area, and then boom, down she goes. But as I see it now, the question I ask myself, is it down too much? What amount can I risk that if it just keeps going to nothing, am I going to be fine with? Because I realize my strategy is to start buying and place buy orders. And I'm talking a lot of them. In smaller increments, of course. And then, of course, you do the same thing up top. And then when one triggers, you sell it for several percent better in your favor, or you do the opposite, for several percent in your favor. Oh, I buy at 37.18. Let's sell at 38.25. That's a difference of 103 points. That's about 3%. Why not? Of course, maybe go like a bit better, 5-6%. But it's always about finding the key areas, realizing that maybe here at 5,000, which was a previous support level, if it's going to have any break and establish resistance area field, is where we'll go to. Because for the charts to have the correctionary move, step 1 is for the band to flatten out, and that's already done. Step 2 is to establish a resistance area field that has not even been attempted yet. It's got to really break above 42 to even attempt to do such. Step 3, come back to the band. Step 4, break it. So in a situation here, step 1, band flatten out. Step 2, establish resistance. Step 3, come back to the band. Step 4, take it out. It attempted to take it out here. Failed move, fast move. The failed move, the move was the attempt to get above at the time, a hair below, about 78 or so, and it failed. As they say in the game shows, or they play in the game shows, fast move down. And this happens quite frequently. It can both work bullishly and bearishly. Shorter term now, looking at this on a 3-hour time frame from the last fall in here, the last fast move downside. Support has been pretty big at 34. Boom, boom, boom. More likely you test it, the more likely it is to be taken out. Resistance has been very well established as well. Support's 34, resistance is 4,000 within this current range. It also gives opportunities just to swing trade this on so many levels, because every single sell order that occurred here, you got her back cheap. Same thing here. Everything you bought down here, you've already profited. And heck, even I've already bought back what I've sold in here because I'm back in the game now. So it's playing these swings, because markets always will be moving up and down. But overall, this is just a case that I feel it's down too much, and it could go down more. And at 2,500 is probably, well, it's where I do have a bigger buy order in, and where I'd be looking to accumulate more, but at a level that I can responsibly risk when I analyze risk versus reward. And of course, reward is every time I scalp these sell and buys, I'm making gains there. If I'm right and the market goes bullish, I'm making gains. There's your reward. Your risk, of course, is that it goes down. You lose some to all of what you put in. So anyway, that's the first of two codes. Let's go to the second. And enter code CLOAK, C-L-O-A-K. And again, I got in this one because I was able to get in this for a very cheap price. This morning when I woke up, I heard about this coin. I don't know if I ever day traded it. I'm going to check right now. And I actually did for a decent amount of time in April and a little bit in July. But when I was looking on CoinMarketCap, I seen that it was rallying good for the hour. It was available to buy at a large level, at least for me. I was able to pick up a quarter of a Bitcoin worth at 177. And then I was seeing that the price on Bittrex going at that time for closer to 187. And I felt, you know what? I mean, it's a no-brainer to buy well more than I can afford. And I mean, when I afford more than I would put on any code. I have a lot of Litecoin, but I don't even have $1,000 worth of Litecoin, or I don't have a quarter of Bitcoin. But it's close. It's close. I like to diversify in many, many different funds, and within such, I felt, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer them over, sell it, not all of it, just sell some of it, because after looking at this pattern of the chart that I'm going to go over, I actually think this is a good coin to have. So I sold well over half of it. I mean, I sold 3/4 of it even, because I bought well more than I wanted to have on it. Well, 2/3, whatever. I sold a decent amount, enough where my average buy works out to be 161. So I think, you know what? Hey, 161 average buy. Why don't I just stick in a sell order here? Stick in maybe some sell orders here, maybe one here, one here. And you know what? Just for fun, let's find some buy orders as well too. And of course, buy orders. Just do the normal thing that I like to do, because I was able to pick them up at a very good price. What I like about how the message of this market is pointing out, like all of the other cryptos having its great gains. But interestingly enough, this didn't do what the rest of them did for the most part, because when you started to get into June, that's when the markets were topping or starting to top out. This one started to rally in the early parts of June. But it did top out before the end of the month, though. So for the month, it went from 32,000 to 500,000. That's about a 13x gain. A long correction. Now we can look at this 18 average. Got above it here, but kept its trend going down. Established a level of resistance. Oftentimes from failed moves comes fast moves in the opposite direction. I don't know if you count it as such. If this is a fast move, it's a lame-ass one if you consider it, but no. Therefore, We've seen how the band has been flattening out for several days now. It's gotten above this major resistance area field at the 15 handle. And it's probably going to have a decent chance of next approaching, you would think, in this 22. Support you would expect to come in here. So at 15,000, I think that's exactly where I put my buy order in, actually, just to think, hey, you know what? It's a good buying spot here. Why not? If I got myself and entered in position at a great price. I don't think that it's going to retrace lower, but you never know. You've seen in here how you had the failed breakout. However, I'm a lot more confident playing a code that has just left the 18 average after it has endured this the last few days than I would be here after it endured this over the last few days. So two totally different stories when I look at it this way. But when you take a look at this on the weekly time frame, it's a dinosaur. At least it's one of the original cryptocurrencies because it has life before 2015. Which is amazing in its sense, considering most of them don't have life before 2016. Now a bunch even before 2017. With that being thrown aside, long choppy action or sideways action. But yeah, lots of opportunities to even swing trade amongst this mess, if you want to call it that. But the congestion area for all of 2015, all of 2016, the end of 2014, and the first half or so of 2017 was in the area of around mainly 4,000 to about 50,000 Satoshi. And it has since broken out past that. It did it, of course, on this move. This support level, it came back to here. It did not come back here. But what's the status of this within the 18 average? It's got a sideways moving average after it had that huge elevator ride to the upside earlier this year. So it's correcting within that situation. It still has to get above here for it to have any type of more longer-term bullish momentum with great conviction. Right now, it's just bullish in the neutrality moment because it's in this band. And of course, if this thing, because it's been congested in here for it's been in this band for quite some time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 periods now. That's about 9-10 weeks, a whole season. It's at the stage because of this move that it's just had. If this ultimately fails, failed move, fast move, you'd be looking at a break below here and probably a test towards this congestion area in here. If, of course, that's to take place. Now let's look at this on a bullish side, risk reward. That's your risk side. That's the bad things that are going to happen if you're holding long. Or if you want to try to get in on the cheap, then I would be eyeballing around the 5,000 number or 50,000 number. That's really cheap if you're buying it there. Anyway, on the situation for where this could go, well, when I have a market that had this high and it comes up here, that's pretty much a test of where it came from. I don't look at this as a failure when it breaks through this resistance in this spot. It just had an extra pierce, whether it comes up to here as a high, whether the high would have been here or whether the high would have been here. It would have all been the same to me. It's a test of previous level. Sometimes it'll be an exact hit, sometimes pierce below, sometimes pierce above. This is a good pierce above. So now we got this rectangular resistance area. So in the area of between 30,000, 35,000 to about 50,000. So you got potential to reach the previous high from where it stands. And it's 500,000, by the way, but the 50 handle. But look at the level of reward available from where we stand. Previous high is 500,000 Satoshi. We stand at 185. 3x almost. Okay. So what happens after that if it breaks resistance? What's a significant leg higher? One of the ways I like to do it as you came from here before, So at that stage, that was a level under the 30 number. So you go from under 30 to over 80. That was a 2x better. That was a 2.5, 2.6x gain from high to high. Then we go from over 80,000 to about a half. Okay, that's about a 6x gain. So could this have the potential, once it breaks this resistance, to have double, triple, quad X on top? And well, these things are wild. And I've heard about the insanity. It's insane to do the same things and expect the different results. Well, I look at insanity in this level as, if the markets are moving in these insane, wild manners, it's insane to think that it's just going to settle down and work normal. That's insanity, because you're expecting a different result. The regular results are these things go hog wild, major moves to the upside and downside. So when trying to figure out mathematically where this thing can go, a 10x gain from this, from where it stands, would work out to about a 3.3x gain from this high. Does it make sense for it to be, does it make sense to happen, to have a 3.3 gain from a high? Well, most certainly. Would it be an insane move? Well, I don't think so. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'd have to think that most likely within several months from now, it would have a significant leg above here, or it would have a test down in this area. Alrighty, so long video again. This will be my second last video. There'll be another 10-minute video coming later this evening, pending of any other major event or idea that might come to mind. Take care, and I'm out.